Welcome back to another edition of Talk Nerdy to Me. I am your host, Troy Stegner. Before we get into this comic book review, I'm going to ask you for one favor. Subscribe. It really helps us with the metrics. Alright, pandering over. Looky. Comic Bookie. We have the new Batman Reptilian. This one, written by Garth Ennis, man. And if you don't know Garth Ennis, he's written stories like, a little one about Preacher. He did another one about these boys. And, his stuff is usually very, very brutal. And this is really no different. This Liam Short's artwork is very dark and gritty, and it lends itself to a Garth Ennis story very well. This one, I believe it's going to be a short. I want to say it's 5 or 6 episodes or issues. I could be wrong. And it starts out. I don't know how well you can see all the darkness, but Batman. There's some dude who's big bruiser dude. I guess he's a boxer. So we're talking about his next bout, and supposedly he killed some people. He's going to get away with it because his lawyer, Batman, and comes to the court and antagonizes him. The dude tries to attack him, so he beats the snot out of the dude, puts him in it. It kind of hints that he's in a wheelchair because later on he's telling Alfred, his wife will have to push him around in the chair now. So we don't know if that's a permanent thing or if he just whooped him up pretty good. And it keeps hinting around that, the Riddler, the Penguin, all those guys were jumped and, nearly killed. And I believe they said the Riddler was gutted from sternum to crotch. So somebody is trying to take out Gotham's villains. And Batman's trying to figure out who it is. Because, Batman himself is against killing. That's why Joker's still around. Which, by letting him live, he's actually killed more people. But, so somebody is stalking the Gotham villains. We don't know who it is. Obviously, it's, with the name Reptilian, it's got to be somebody. And I'm thinking, everybody was leaning towards Killer Croc, but he is one of the villains, man. He's got to be one of the dudes who's going to be hiding. Don't know who it is or why they're doing it. It doesn't say, but this is one of DC's Black labels, so Garth Ennis, perfect fit for the Black label. This issue ends where Batman gets a known street level thug, and he kind of strong arms him into. He's like, "Hey, I need you to go and join the Joker's team." And he's like, "Well, why?" He's like, "Because Joker's one is still alive, and he's always looking for help. Go join his team, and I want you to be basically my informant." And the guy, do you tell Batman no? I haven't seen that happen yet. And the whole thing is just nightmarish. So, and it ends with the dude waking up in kind of a cold sweat about what he's got to go and do. Because, when he saw, they say, I told you Riddler was gutted, Penguin, they said, was nailed to the ceiling. So they're not just taking out the villains, they're taking them out with extreme prejudice. And I say they, it might be just one person, we're not sure. This is going to have to be, like I said, I believe it's a 6-issue series, which means it's going to have to get tied up in 6 issues. We will see who this next villain is, see if it's going to be somebody iconic or not. Garth Ennis is really good at creating memorable characters. And if this person is walking through Gotham villains like they're nothing, he must be pretty formidable. We will see. This one, Batman Reptilian, I'm going to recommend picking it up off the shelf. Give it another shot. I'm on the fence. I haven't decided whether, I need to see more to decide if this is going to be good or not. Typically, most of Garth Ennis' stuff is really good. Problem is, it's very bloody, very brutal on top of that, which, DC Black Label, not a problem. They can do brutal and bloody. So let's see, we're going to say pick this up off the shelf. Don't subscribe just yet. We're going to see how issue 2 turns out to decide if this is going to be something to add to your pull list. I'm thinking it will be. All right, that is my review for Batman Reptilian numero uno. And if you like this video, this review, you want to see more like it, subscribe. Hit that little subscribe button. And while you're at it, you can hit the bell icon. You'll be notified whenever I put up a new video. And until you see that new video, later, nerds.
Get nerdy with me. Tell me what game that you get on. Is it card or read? What kind of class do you play, girl? In an RPG?